Hello, welcome back to rSpill. On to today's story. A stranger healed my inner child in a cave without even knowing it. It started like any other afternoon. I had taken a seat in my usual corner at the cave near my apartment, the one with the floor-to-ceiling windows and the comforting scent of cinnamon and roasted beans. It was my little refuge, the place I went when I needed to escape my mind and pretend, for just a while, that everything inside me was quiet. I was not expecting anything remarkable. I was simply nursing a lukewarm cappuccino and scrolling aimlessly on my phone, trying to distract myself from the growing heaviness that had been sitting on my chest for days, or maybe years, who knows anymore. That is when I saw them, a mother and her young daughter, no more than 5 years old, sitting at the table across from mine. The little girl had chubby cheeks, wispy brown curls, and wide eyes full of wonder. She wore a tiny pink hoodie that was just a bit too big for her, the sleeves bunched up at the wrist. Her mother looked gentle, soft-spoken, graceful in her movements, the kind of person who made you want to be better just by existing. I only noticed them at first because the little girl kept glancing towards the front counter. She was fidgeting in her seat, clearly trying to work up the courage to do something. "Do you want to ask for the box?" her mother asked, her voice calm and patient. "You can do it, sweetheart. I will be right here watching you." The little girl gave a shy nod and slipped off her chair. She took a few small steps forward, but just as quickly, she turned around and retreated, her tiny fists clenched at her sides as she returned to her mother's side, looking unsure of herself. My chest tightened. I had seen this moment before, not in someone else's life, but in my own. I tried to turn my eyes away, but I could not. It was like watching a reflection from the past. The little girl tried again, another few steps forward, another pause, then back again. Her mother, instead of showing any trace of annoyance, smiled warmly. She leaned in, brushed a strand of hair from her daughter's face, and said gently, "It is all right. You do not have to if you are not comfortable." The girl whispered something I could not hear. Her mother responded, "That is okay, baby. Mommy will go get it for you." And with that, she walked over to the counter, and returned a moment later with a small takeaway box. That was it. A tiny moment between a mother and daughter. A moment so simple that it should have meant nothing, but it meant everything. My throat clenched, and my vision blurred. Before I even realized what was happening, tears began to slide down my face. I was crying in a cave. At first, I tried to hide it, blinking fast, wiping my eyes with the sleeve of my hoodie, pretending like it was allergies or some piece of dust in the air. But there was no stopping it. A wave had broken inside me, and it refused to retreat. Because in that small, seemingly insignificant moment, I was 5 years old again. I was back in the kitchen of our old house, standing nervously with a crumpled napkin in my hand. My father's voice rang in my ears, not calm, not kind. It was impatient, harsh. "Come on, you cannot do something that simple. Are you going to be scared of everything your whole life?" I remembered the way my stomach had twisted, the way I had felt so small, so stupid. My mother had stood silently in the background, avoiding eye contact, always avoiding conflict. There had been no "it is okay," no "you do not have to if you are not ready." There had only ever been sighs, eye rolls, and the crushing weight of disappointment. I had grown up learning that hesitating was weakness, that being shy meant you were a burden, that if I did not step up, I was nothing but a failure. I had buried that part of me so deeply, covered it in layers of forced confidence and overachievement, that I almost forgot it was there. Until this mother, this stranger, with a single kind gesture, unearthed it. I watched her place the box in front of her daughter, then ruffle her hair lovingly. The girl beamed up at her, cheeks flushed with gratitude, and went back to eating her brownie like it was the best thing in the world. I wanted to thank her. I wanted to walk over, tell her what she had done for me, what her tenderness had unlocked inside my chest, but I could not move. I sat there frozen, overwhelmed. This woman had no idea. She had no idea that her patience, her quiet understanding, had just reached into a stranger's soul and whispered, "You deserve that too." It was not about the takeaway box. It never was. It was about permission to be afraid, to try and fail, to be loved even in hesitation. I thought about all the times I had punished myself for not being brave enough, all the times I had replayed moments in my head, telling myself I should have been better, louder, tougher. I thought about how many times I had talked myself out of speaking up, asking for help, setting a boundary because I did not want to seem too much or not enough. I looked at the girl again. She was so small, so young. She should not have to be brave all the time. None of us should, and yet we carry it. The fear, the shame, the voices from our childhood that were never gentle. But in that cave, for the first time in a very long time, I felt something crack open. It hurt, yes, but it also felt like healing. It made me think of the kind of person I want to be, the kind of parent I hope to be one day, the kind of friend, partner, stranger I can be now. Because kindness does not cost much, but it's ripple. It can change someone's life. She will never know what she gave me, and maybe she does not have to. Maybe it is enough that I carry it forward, that the next time someone around me hesitates, falters, looks like they are shrinking under the weight of invisible expectations, I will be the voice that says it is okay. You do not have to if you are not comfortable. Because if a stranger can heal a wound I did not even know was still bleeding, maybe I can do that for someone else too. So here I am, sitting in a cave, crying into a half-finished cappuccino, not because I am broken, but because for the first time in a long time, something inside me finally feels seen. And it turns out being seen, really seen, is the first step toward healing, even if it comes from a stranger. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, comment down below, tell us about your childhood experiences, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, bye bye.